We have to monitor what is happening to them. This is a statement that they made about 2 weeks ago, yesterday, so March 22nd. And the title of this is 12 Suggestions for Dealing with the Tibetan Situation by some Chinese intellectuals. I'm going to read this whole thing. It's 12 of them. 1. At present, the one-sided propaganda of the official Chinese media is having the effect of stirring up inter-ethnic animosity and aggravating an already tense situation. This is extremely detrimental to the long-term goal of safeguarding national unity. We call for such propaganda to be stopped. 2. We support the Dalai Lama's appeal for peace and hope that the ethnic conflict can be dealt with according to the principles of goodwill, peace, and nonviolence. We condemn any violent act against innocent people. We strongly urge the Chinese government to stop the violent suppression and appeal to the Tibetan people likewise not to engage in violent activities. The Chinese government claims, number 3, the Chinese government claims that, quote, there is sufficient evidence to prove this incident was organized, premeditated, and meticulously orchestrated by the Dalai clique, unquote. We hope that the government will show proof of this. In order to change the international community's negative view and distrustful attitude, we also suggest that the government invite the United Nations Commission on Human Rights to carry out an independent investigation of the evidence, the course of the incident, the number of casualties, etc. Number 4, in our opinion, such cultural revolution-like language as, quote, the Dalai Lama is a jackal in Buddhist monks' robes and an evil spirit with a human face and the heart of a beast, unquote, used by the Chinese Communist Party leadership in the Tibetan Autonomous Region is of no help in easing the situation, nor is it beneficial to the Chinese government's image. As the Chinese government is committed to integrating into the international community, we maintain that it should display a style of governing that conforms to the standards of a modern civilization. Number 5, we note that on every day when violence erupted in Lhasa, March 14th, the leaders of the Tibetan Autonomous Region declared that, quote, there is sufficient evidence to prove this incident was organized, premeditated, and meticulously orchestrated by the Dalai clique, unquote. This shows that the authorities in Tibet knew in advance that the riot would occur. It did nothing effective to prevent the incident from happening or escalating. If there was a dereliction of duty, a serious investigation must be carried out to determine this and deal with it accordingly. Number 6, if in the end it cannot be proved that this was organized, premeditated, and meticulously orchestrated event, but was instead a, quote, popular revolt, unquote, triggered by events, then the authorities should pursue those responsible for inciting the popular revolt and concocting false information to deceive the central government and the people. They should also seriously reflect on what can be learned from this event so as to avoid taking the same course in the future. Number 7, we strongly demand that the authorities not subject every Tibetan to political investigation or revenge. The trials of those who have been arrested must be carried out according to judicial procedures that are open, just, and transparent, so as to ensure that all parties are satisfied. Number 8, we urge the Chinese government to allow credible national and international media to go into Tibetan areas to conduct independent interviews and news reports. In our view, the current news blockade cannot gain credit with the Chinese people or the international community, and is harmful to the credibility of the Chinese government. If the government grasps the true situation, it need not fear challenges. Only by adopting an open attitude can we turn around the international community's distrust of our government. Number 9, we appeal to the Chinese people and overseas Chinese to be calm and tolerant and to reflect deeply on what is happening. Adopting a posture of aggressive nationalism will only invite antipathy in the international community and harm China's international image. Number 10, the disturbances in Tibet in the 1980s were limited to Lhasa, whereas this time they have spread to many Tibetan areas. This deterioration indicates that there are serious mistakes in the work that has been done with regard to Tibet. Tibet. The relevant government departments must conscientiously reflect upon this matter, examine their failures, and fundamentally change the failed nationality policies. Number 11, in order to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future, the government must abide by the freedom of religious belief and the freedom of speech explicitly enshrined in the Chinese Constitution. Interesting. Thereby allowing the Tibetan people fully to express their grievances and hopes, and permitting citizens of all nationalities freely to criticize and make suggestions regarding the government's nationality policies. Number 12, in conclusion, we hold that we must eliminate animosity and bring about national reconciliation, not continue to increase divisions between nationalities. A country that wishes to avoid the partition of its territory must first avoid divisions among its nationalities. Therefore, we appeal to the leaders of our country to hold direct dialogue with the Dalai Lama. We hope that the Chinese and Tibetan people will do away with the misunderstandings between them, develop their interactions with each other, and achieve unity. Government departments, as much as popular organizations and religious figures, should make great efforts towards this goal. 30 very, very courageous Chinese people. Put their names on the card. I wish all the leaders of the international community were that brave. It's a great pleasure I have. The next speaker is going to be Sister Joan Kirby. She's Sacred Heart.